Motion to extend the meeting to 10:20. If we break prior to that, that's all good. Motion to extend the meeting.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski to 10:20. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. O'Leary. Mrs. O'Hara. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Margolis?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. President, if we could move up the residents regarding trash collection at their homes.
So we'll waive the rules and move up for immediate consideration. Item F, discussion by council vote other action on Mike Debroisse, Vice President of Board of Directors for High Rocks Condominium, on obtaining trash collection at the condominium located at 1 Tupperware Drive.
Thank you, councilors. My name is Mike Debroisse. I live at 1 Tupperware Drive, unit 103, High Rocks Condos. I did a similar presentation to the planning board about a month or a month and a half ago. Their meeting went late also, so I'll offer the same thing that I offered them. Just vote yes, and we can all just leave right now. We're all set. That was the same response. So High Rocks Condos, presently, since it was established when it started in 2006, we do our own trash collection over there. It was something that the developer had offered to the planning board at the time as a carrot to help get his development to go through. Since that time, the developer has done a great job. He's increased. We've got some minor issues as you do with every development. The transition from the developer to the association, which is just the homeowners, happened about a year and a half ago. In that year and a half now, we've really started to have a chance to look at our books, look at the numbers, see where our costs are, and go through what we think, is ours and what we think is other things, and trash came up as one of those. And with all due respect to the Valley Breeze, this isn't a trash war with the town of North Smithfield. It's the first time that we come to you to ask this. The planning department and the public works director have been really nice helping us with ideas on what we had to do. Tom with the planning department has brought me right in line as to where we had to go with everything. We went and had to meet with the planning board first, relook at the minutes that were done back in 2006, get their approval, which I believe you have a copy of their letter of support now with the changes, and go from there. So the town presently has tonnage through Rhode Island Resource Recovery. Going through the numbers, which you can get offline, the town still has about 415 tons of extra space that they do not use annually. At the most, if we used everything that we have in our building, that's my number, I was looking at that today, over a whole year, if we maxed out, we're probably looking at about 133 tons. So you still have more than enough tons in there for development in the town. When we started as a board, and I have our board president and our treasurer here, we started looking at this and started looking at I got in touch with some of the other condo units, and we are the only condo association that is not serviced by town trash. We do, interestingly, have town recycling. That was brought in a number of years ago, thankfully, from the town, so we appreciate that. That helps offset the cost because we have 33 containers just for recycling in there, and we have 5 3-yard dumpsters that we have through a trash room. There was concern how would it be picked up. I actually had a chance to talk with the present hauler for the town, Mega, last week. Told them what our issues were. Actually, they were surprised. They thought that they were already covering everybody in the town. People end up forgetting about High Rocks. We're off on a little island there. We're not even joined to North Smithfield. We got the river right there. You have to go through Blackstone to get there. So they were surprised that they didn't already have that, and he had to actually look back to see in his records that he wasn't already collected. So I told him how we have a present contract with Valley Disposal. Told him how Valley Disposal picks up our trash. Asked if that would be any problem if the town said yes, and he said absolutely not. The trucks are already suited that way. I know that the town is going to be going out to bid for trash services again. But presently, the present contract has no problem with servicing our place. All he needs is a, yes, go ahead and do it, and he would stop his trucks right in there. So we have 128 units in there. Rough calculations, bless you. We probably put in between property and cars close to $550,000 in taxes, and I have gone 100% on that. That's a rough estimate. Of that, we don't have sewer. We have Blackstone sewer. We don't have town water. We have Blackstone water. We don't have town plowing. We have Blackstone plowing up to our place, and then we have to pay for everything else. We have no town streetlights. Fire and police, Blackstone is a stone throw away. They're going to report to us first. North Smithfield will probably come afterwards.
Mutual aid, yeah.
Yeah. And no trash. So when you look at it, and we have a handful of students, just a handful, because usually condos is not where families go to raise their children, but we do have a few that are over there. So when you look at it, we support the town a lot, and we get very, very little. So all we're doing is asking to be included with everybody else. I've been told that the town president picks up for all the other taxpayers. We're just asking for the same situation with us. And I'm open for any questions, and I hope I can answer those.
Mr. President? Mike, we've known each other for how many years? I'm going to call you Mike.
Been in the town for a long time, and I'm leaving.
Good, thank you. Mike, there are 128 units, and I kind of prefaced this earlier. One of the things that we struggle with are people moving into condominiums, moving into apartments. They don't register their vehicles in the state of Rhode Island. I am in full support to have your trash picked up because it'll work it into the budget. It's not a problem. But I have to say that when I go into condominiums or apartment complexes, the people have been living there for who knows how long they've been living there, and their vehicles are not registered. I understand the whole thing about registration taxes going away, and I get it. I'd vote right now to approve this, but I'd like to see the vehicles registered in the town of North Smithfield. So we are receiving that $550,000 in taxes that you speak of, roughly, ballpark.
Councilman, I agree with you. I agree that every town should have all the cars registered in there. This isn't not a common issue in any municipality. No matter where you go, it happens everywhere, and it happens in the rest of the condo developments that you're already servicing. I'm sure if I drove through Laurel Woods or any of the other ones, I'll find some vehicles that aren't registered in the town of North Smithfield. That being said, I totally agree. I can honestly say that I walk my property a lot. I have my dog, and we love going out there. There are plates on there that are not registered in Rhode Island. Now, are they in North Smithfield? Don't know, but they're out of state. We have our past management company, and a new one will do this also. President is here, she'll make sure. Send another notice out to all our residents, letting them know that the town does have, I believe you have an ordinance that says that we have to follow that. Now, the board cannot go out there and do that. I can't go out there and start running plates. So it is what it is on that part. But we can do what we can do by informing the residents. Somebody still put something out of Massachusetts. I don't know what a board can do on that. If you have a suggestion, other than notifying them of what the law is, I'd be happy to do.
I do, Mr. Mike, sorry.
Mr. Mike is fine.
Yeah. Mike, I do have a suggestion through the town clerk. Dogs in the town of North Smithfield have to be licensed. If you move into an apartment or a complex, your dog has to be licensed, so we know babies and all that stuff, everything's up to date. I would like to see that, I'm not sure if the president or whomever's here from your board, for insurance-wise, your dog has to be registered in the state, licensed, your pet. I would like to see that become part of our day-to-day operations when they come in to license their dog. They also show that their vehicle is being licensed in the town of North Smithfield. No. I'm seeing shaking heads. Help me out with this. Okay, if they're students and they're going to Bryant University, I kind of understand that. But, where you put your head is your bed. And that's where I think taxes should be paid.
And again, we don't disagree. We'll do our part to inform and educate the residents. But still, we're asking as far as the trash issue. But I understand that you collect money on the cars. But the only thing
We
we can.
may not be collecting money on the cars, Mike, that's where I'm going with all this.
But if
They're not,
you,
they're paying into math, obviously. And we're not talking about snowbirds. We know that's up under the Homestead Act.
who's the enforcing agent for the town for making sure cars are registered in the town?
Please.
Okay, the North Smithfield Police sometimes goes through, most of the time it's Blackstone.
Yeah, in essence, I'm gonna vote to make sure that your trash and your recyclables get picked up. I think Mr. Pendergast would agree that it's gonna be in the budget. So, from what I'm hearing, it's already in the budget. They thought that they were picking up for you.
I don't believe it's in the budget, but.
Well, it may not be as a number in there, but the contractor thought that they were already servicing everybody in the town.
He thought he
He was
was.
surprised when he heard that there were 128 units that they were not collecting.
Okay, I have no problem paying for you to pick up.
But that could be an error on their part. If they assume that they're already doing it all, they could have already priced it that way.
I do have a question. 128 units, is there a central location the trash is going?
Yes, there is. We have a
Okay.
trash room. The second and third floor have trash heaps that go down, and then the residents bring their recycling down and sort it down there.
Okay. So if the truck comes in, they go to possibly 3 locations?
One location,
One?
One location, they back up the truck, it's on a loading dock, they wheel the 5 dumpsters out, it's a one-man operation, they dump it out with the truck and then they take off.
If I may, Mr. President. Director of Public Works, Pendergast, do you have anything to add?
I think the administrator is going to,
The concern that we have from an administrative perspective is that this is an unbudgeted item for this fiscal year. If you have interest in supporting this request, my suggestion is that it be a service that begins July 1st, so that we can research the total cost and include it in our budget for the fiscal year. Otherwise, we're walking into a deficit service.
Can I ask you one more thing? Do all the residents have to register their vehicles with you
They,
For parking?
for parking?
I have no
They
idea.
have to.
Well, the parking's are deeded spots. They're
So
bought
they have to
with,
register.
no, when they buy the unit and a spot or 2 spots go with it, so that's between the buyer and the seller, so they're not registered with us. The spot itself, so if it's spot 12, we know who owns it, but we don't know the vehicle or anything that's in it.
No, do
It's
we?
deeded property.
So you,
What do
so
we-
you have
I
to
think we're
file
getting
away.
off topic here.
Right.
I think this is fascinating discussion, but, you know, there's all state
Well,
laws of a temporary resident, who's a temporary. I think if we're gonna talk about it, we should put it on as another agenda item.
Money talks.
Yeah, you can put it on as another agenda item, we can focus on this one.
As far as the
Well,
town
yeah,
administrator,
get it on.
his comment on that, I do understand that. I still think, I started discussions on this about a year ago, so it's taken me a year just to get to this part. So we've done our due diligence, trying to do everything we can to get trash picked up that could have been done, last October, January, July. Now I'm back in October as I've gone through every step, and the planner and even the public works director can say I've been in communication nonstop and trying to get this all set. And now I'm here now. It's only, it's a happy year, but it's a happy year of our cost that everybody else is getting. Now, if the hauler already thought that we were doing it, the DPW director would know better on his numbers, maybe the hauler already calculated that into their cost. I don't know if the directors already looked at that. If they gave a budget to service the whole town and it was $1 million, and then all of a sudden he found out there's 128 units out there that he didn't count for, but he said he was servicing the whole town, then he was servicing the whole town.
It makes sense to me.
Except one thing that you need to realize, there's an agreement out there that says High Rocks is responsible for their own trash pickup. That
Okay.
was the deal, that was
Change that,
the deal that was made back then.
All right.
We can amend that
Back when I
agreement.
was on the planning board, Mr. President.
We can amend that, but I think based on what the administrator is saying, we amend it next year when we're into the budget cycle. So it would
You
start.
have to watch out for that, because on that same thing that you're saying that was agreed upon, the town's also made a lot of faults. There was, in that same document that you're referring to, says we only have 120. Where did we come up with 8 more? The town granted those. The same document says that there's no garage parking. We have garage parking. Where'd that come from? So on that document that you're talking about, you have to be careful if you want to open that up, because, and the town planner can say, there's a lot of errors in there, and I don't want to stop pointing fingers. All I'm asking for is what everyone else has. Everyone else in this town has pickup. We're bringing it to your attention now that we don't. Give us a half a year and then budget. You can find the money.
So can let's keep this conversation moving. How hard would it be to get a prorated cost of what the second half of the year would look like? We can determine then how much over budget are we looking, or, where do we have the additional monies to fund this? And I think until we know how much the cost is going to be, and actually compare it to what the language is.
My whole budget under my contract, which is more money than what the town gets, is about $22,000. So a half a year on our cost is 11. Your price has to be a lot better than that.
I don't know. So that's what I'm asking to,
Yeah.
I can take your word. I support it, but I just
I
like
have
to
some
know.
expertise in this matter.
You sound like you do. So I just want to know though.
He doesn't know what you do.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, no, I don't
Yeah, but I have expertise.
I can tell you do, yeah. I would just like to know, that's all, how much it would be for, because if it's a budgetary concern, I support it, but I just want to know how much over.
I can
We'll
tell
find
you,
them. We'll
I have
find
some
the money.
expertise in looking at our budget, and I would advise caution.
$11,000.
Absolutely.
So you have the numbers, Administrator, correct?
So we were just about to approve a 10,000 over on a lawyer fee, so there we go. I mean, this is what I was talking about
A
earlier.
budget that has $75,000 in it for extraordinary legal services.
If we need to use it.
That is encumbered in our budget as we speak. Totally different circumstances. Please don't link the two. What I'm looking at is a trash expense that we have budgeted, and we are, we're looking at adding to that we did not consider.
So your numbers may be $8,000. Again, we're paying, again, this is an estimate, $550,000 to the town for a handful of students that go to the town school. Come on, let's be fair on that. $550,000 for about $8,000 worth of trash pickup to end this, and then work it up in the next contract. I think the town can do that.
Mr.
You can have this discussion with every business that's in town too.
You added on 8 condos, add on those 8 condos that weren't originally planned at about $4,000 a piece. Where did that come from?
Calculated into the tax rate that's already figured in the budget, folks. We have numbers that are in stone here.
Can we get a copy of the contract with the trash removal that's saying they will service the entire town? You know what, they're gonna be coming up for renegotiation, and I think the service is good. When's the last time we had a complaint about trash pickup in town? We haven't. We haven't.
No,
today.
I can't address why there's more condos. If that had to go through planning, then the agreement was changed. If there's indoor parking, that agreement was changed, and I look at this as being the same thing. If you want traffic, you can change that agreement. I'm not telling you that it won't happen, or I'm just saying, I think to look at it, we need to wait and see for the next budget cycle. That's my only point on this, is that I understand that what the agreement says, somewhere it got changed and it was never updated. I can't address that because I haven't seen that agreement. The only agreement that I've seen was the original agreement saying that Herb Ingram said, I will do trash pickup, snow removal, and something else. I forget what the third piece of it was.
I think you're doing the
But-
your taxpayers and your residents over there an injustice when we're asking now that we've been working on something for a year's time to get to this, to ask for 6 months worth of trash pickup.
I agree with you, Mike.
This-
I think it's an
I
injustice.
can get
Well, this is the first we
120.
hear, this is the first that we hear of it in the
Well,
moment.
let's take care of it.
And I'll be honest with you.
Well, it's because it's going up the chain like that, like they're supposed to.
And to be honest with you, it's the first that I hear. I was not aware that, I don't know, I can't even think of it now. The one there, Darling Village, of course, the condos at Darling Village.
So can I just make a motion to extend the meeting?
Yes.
Oh, Rockcliffe,
Second.
Alpine, Silver Pines, and Laurel Woods. I was not aware that their tracks were being picked up by the town. I was kind of surprised at that myself when I heard that. Because I was sitting at that planning board meeting when you addressed that. I was kind of surprised and saying, wait a minute, why are we picking up trash on private property? I have an issue with that. And they pay taxes too, but they're private developments, those roads are private, and I'm wondering why we're doing that as well. But different issue. If we can just, we have to take care of some of this.
Mr. President, Councilman Ogier just made a motion to extend the meeting.
I'm not sure what clock to work off of. That one says 10:20, this one says 10:19. I believe we extended it to 10:20, so I would think that we should extend it to at least 10:40 and see what, if we don't need it, we'll leave early.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Ogier, second by Mrs. Zelinski. Roll call.
Mrs. Barnamoli?
Yes.
Yes,
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. President, if I may, sitting on the planning board when all these condominiums came for presentation before council, the developers, and it's not the case where you are, the developers petitioned the planning board to not have to build the land development subdivision regulations. 30-foot wide road, 10-foot right away on both sides, you're talking 50 feet, granite curbstone, concrete sidewalks. And the deal was they would be responsible for their own trash pickup. That you will probably find in the minutes of planning board meetings. Having said all that, the roadways in and out of there were through Blackstone. They're city, town-approved roadways. I don't have a problem supporting this,